Biafra, superstars, media.
Paul and Silas, they prayed, they sang, and Holy Ghost came down. Paul and Silas, they prayed, they sang, and Holy Ghost came down. Paul and Silas, they prayed, oh, they sang, and Holy Ghost came down. Paul and Silas, they prayed, they sang, and Holy Ghost came down.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're hearing my voice from. Yes, this is the Biafra Golden Child, and I'm happy once again, to have this opportunity to address my people, to interact with them, and to create awareness of happenings that are very, very unpalatable to fellow Biafrans. Yeah, in the first instance, today is Nigeria's 64th anniversary, and of course, all over the country, there's a lackadaisical attitude to the whole situation, because of course, even the so-called speech that the president gave was considered anything but interesting. Of course, people felt there was nothing that he addressed. He didn't address the situation in the country. He didn't address the hunger and the hardship. He didn't address any of the uh, issues that youths have vigorously campaigned against and protested against. Instead, he was, talking of things that, he was talking of achievements that are not empirical and not verifiable. Instead of letting the people know what the government is going to do to alleviate suffering and poverty and general hardship in the country, he was more or less more interested in talking about his achievements and what he thought was achievements of the APC in the current administration of this country. Yes, a lot of people felt such speech was completely insensitive and not in tune with the expectation of Nigeria. People were looking forward to, more important address from him that would echo, the immediate uh, hardship, the immediate sufferings, the unemployment, the high cost of tariff for clearing. High cost of tariff for NEPA. We thought we would have addressed the comatose situation in the oil sector and, the fuel shortages and cabal, cabal destruction of free flow of business for oil business. We thought he would look into what is the plight of Nigerians, but instead it seems to be a chest thumping affair where, the government insisted that it is headed in the right direction and this is what Nigerians wanted. Of course, nobody agreed with him, nobody concurred, and of course, the celebration was lackluster, was nothing to go or talk about. Very unfortunate indeed, you know. Yeah, but for the purpose of this audio, I'm not interested in what is happening in Nigeria as a whole, but I'm more interested in what I've seen happening in Imo State. Yes, just a few days, a few hours ago, on Monday, the governor of Imo State, Uzodinma, came up with a major announcement. He told the citizenry of this country that for his 64 years anniversary broadcast, that Hope Uzodinma, would use the site of the National Open University in Imo State as an IDP camp for northern refugees. Yes, he said he was doing it as a felicitation and as sympathy and as his condolences to the northern region, especially Meduguri, that was recently affected by, the bombardment of, you know, uh, rivers and oceans and water from the dam that killed so many people, drowned so many people, and created a lot of mayhem in Maiduguri, Borno State. You know, and so he said this was his contribution. He was gifting for now, allowing the northern refugees to stay in the site of the university. Of course, it didn't go well with Imolites. It didn't go well with the youths who this morning went agog and went mad and said, "Look, this can never happen. We are Biafrans. We can never give our land, our environment to northern refugees. We don't want anything to do with them. They didn't give us the opportunity when we were in distress too. Nobody gave us such opportunity way back, either in 1967 or 1970. In fact, what they did to us in 1966, is still there, fresh in our minds. When they stampeded our people away from the north. They burned their shops, burned their houses, killed a lot of them, including our pregnant women whose wombs, tummies were ripped open. You know, they said, no, we will not allow our land to be used, you know, for such untoward and wicked, you know, uh, uh, activity. Yes, if you want to play, you want to give an IDP camp, take it to the north, not in Imo State. And so the children went on rampage. Youth went on rampage and set fire, set ablaze the site, of the National Open University. And sincerely, it was a shocking sight because the inferno went all out, and the whole lot of people, scampered for dead for their lives. That place has suffered terribly because of the statement which the youths considered insensitive and totally out of sync with the current realities in Igbo land. I mean, the youth said, "Why is the governor who was, you know, uh, everybody knew was number four when the elections that brought him in, was conducted, and who everybody knew is a product of the High Court that, you know." Ushered him in and declared him the governor. People said, no, this is biting more than you can chew. They said the whole Uzodinma had beaten more than he can chew, and this is an affront on the wishes and the value and the belief patterns and the tolerance of the Igbo people. And they said, no, you cannot bring such a shame to us. You cannot bring this kind of misdemeanor to Imo State. I mean, you have done so much. You have destroyed this country. You have refused to consider the plight of Imo people, youths that are unemployed, roads that are, completely almost a state of disrepair. You have continued to, overlook what we experience in our schools: high cost of school fees, high cost of accommodation in the schools, high cost of electricity tariff. You don't care about any of these things. Most of the schools, don't have pipe-borne water. People are suffering. Parents cannot have give us 2 square meals a day. Our parents, our old ones, do not get their pensions as at when they should get it. Our people are going to below underemployment. I mean, they are unemployed. Some of them, mostly of them, are underemployed. And of course, even the so-called minimum wage which labor has insisted you give to people, to our Imolites, you don't give it to them. And here is where you palliative, even for the suffering. I mean, for the fuel subsidy removal that has engendered so much hardship on the people. You have not done anything about this thing. You have not shown any consideration for the Igbo man. You have not shown any special attention for the Igbo people. Do you not know that charity begins at home? You are instead beckoning on northern refugees to come to the site of the National Open University and take refuge. They said it is the highest level of insensitivity and crass, mismanagement from a governor, and they said, no, this will not be. And of course, the youth took to the street, they burned that place, burnt it, said, look, rather than have these people here, let them go wherever they choose, but not in our land, not in Biafra land. So that has been the situation since the early hours of this morning. That is the breaking news. It's unfortunate that this governor could be so insensitive to have taken such a decision, even at this time when he is aware that the youths, that the people who are feeling disgruntled with this government that has become very, very callous, clueless, and completely out of tune with the 21st century, tenets of democracy and economic development. The governor seems not to, be aware that people have given up on the APC and everything that it represented. And so for the government to say, and the governor to say, we are bringing Northerners here, we are bringing refugees here, was the epic, was the epoch, was the peak of it all. It was the last straw that broke the camel's back. The youth said, no, we don't want this. Governor, yes, you want to tell them you care. Yes, you want to show that you love the North. Yes, you want to make your Northern compatriots feel that you love them more than they love themselves. Yes, you want to impress your, Jagaban, the man at the top, your president. Yes, but suddenly not with Imo State land, suddenly not with Imo State wealth, certainly not, in Imo State. He said the governor appears, to be somebody who is interested in grandstanding. You want people to clap to you, to clap for you. You want people to praise you for being the man who cared for outsiders. But your people are wallowing in abject poverty and lack. What have you done for the Imo man? A lot of Imo people don't have accommodation. The accommodation in Owerri, your capital, is getting the cost of rent in Owerri is getting higher and higher. Every day, landlords are giving quick notice to their tenants because, of course, they cannot afford the rent. The minimum wage, the wage you are paying in Imo State, up to this moment, is less than 35,000 naira. He cannot take workers to work, he cannot bring them back. And you are saying you want to be the godfather, you want to be the Father Christmas to people who never cared for your people, to people who humiliated your people, to people who don't regard your people as human beings. I said, the governor, this is not right. This is biting more than you can chew. We will never allow that. And so, ladies and gentlemen, yes, in as much as I'm not particularly too pleased with the fact that such a magnificent site, a university site, should be raised in flames, should be raised down. But I think, yes, unfortunately, the governor, you know, did cause this ferocious and, very aggressive, you know, attitude from the youths. He was the one who engendered this painful situation. Yes, the story has gone viral. The video is there. I wish I can send the video to you so that you see the enormous rapacity of flames that have engulfed the citadel of learning, the site for the citadel of learning. And this is a very sad one that Imo State is losing what should have been a prestigious and a monumental edifice and academic environment for his people because of callousness and lack of clear thinking of governance and government. Yes, my friends who drew my attention to it told me that it's really sad what this government has become. They said, well, of course, the APC is acting as if Nigeria is one party state. I mean, the governors of APC, everybody's trying to undo themselves to impress the man at the center, to impress the Jagaban. Everybody seems to want to, draw his attention to them so that at any point in time, the man in the center, the Milokon, the it is my turn man, will say, yeah, you're doing great, yeah. They want a patting at the back. They want a patting on the back. Yes, Governor, you're doing well. I can feel you. Yes, you are pushing the Milokon, agenda. But to whose detriment? I thought governance is about, taking care of your people. I thought governance is providing, for the welfare of your people. I thought governance at any level should have its citizens as the focal point of any policies it is going to do, it is going to embark upon, or it is going to implement. But in this case, Single-handedly, the governor decided to take such enormous decision just to receive applause from the North. What sort of applause? No way. The youths have spoken. And they said, look, if you continue in this manner, we will make Imo State ungovernable for you. We will use everything, every access at our disposal. We will make peaceful protest. We will make sure we don't allow any person trample on our toes. Our people do not want this kind of situation. We want a situation where we can be guaranteed our safety and security. They reminded the Governor Hope Uzodinma, are you not aware what the Fulani Heads people have done to us? These nomadic people have burned down several villages. They have gone into Igbo land, especially in Imo State. They have completely deleted hamlets, deleted villages, taking over people's farmlands, destroyed their streams where people go to take water. They have burnt homes. They have deleted so many people, raped our women, killed them, and burnt our crops. What do you have with the North? Why are you so fascinated by the North? What concerns you with the North? How many northern governors have done anything as a relief to the South during any such, natural disasters? They said this is very wicked of them. This governor has shown that he has his people as a second concern. His citizens don't come first. Imolites don't come first. How many Imolites has he created accommodation for? How many of them has he fed? And he's talking of IDP for northern refugees. They said this is chewing more than he can swallow. You know, yeah, my fellow Biafrans, it's just unfortunate what we read every day, what we see every day. Nigeria is a place where you think you have seen it all, but then you are shocked the next second, the next minute. Every other day, it's one sad story to the other. Every other day is one provocative decision to the other. Every other day, it is deliberate attempt to make life, painful, to make life difficult, to make life totally uncomfortable for citizens. What does the governor have to do with the North? What does he want to do creating a university environment, turn it into IDP camp for northern refugees? Who is he trying to impress? I mean, at this stage, who is he trying to impress? At whose detriment? So it's a very sad one, really. And I hope with what have happened today, with this, burning down, so to speak, uh, so to say, the premises of the National Open University, I think, and I hope the governor will sit up and, come back to his senses, because apparently, this decision was bereft of proper cogitation and proper consideration. Yes. Seriously, I don't think the governor has the capacity and capability to take such a decision without considering the Imo people, without getting their input on it. I mean, this kind of decision, you should have gotten the members of the House to talk about it. You should have made them consult their constituencies. Should have let everybody, hear their opinion, know how it would, find out their sensibilities, to it. But instead, in one rash decision, you wake up, and because you want to impress the powers that be at Abuja, you want to impress your cohorts and acolytes, you want to impress the people in the north to consider you uh, the best Eastern governor at all times, of all times, because maybe you have an ambitious political idea and aspiration. You want to tarnish, you want to rob Imo State of its own, wealth, its well-being, its academic, institution. You want to use Imo State money to garner political favor from the powers at Abuja, from, your northern allies, and from your APC government. Of course, this is a very wrong step at this time, this critical time, when people are fed up, when people are tired, when people have discovered that, of course, with this government, there is uh, there's no solution, there's no hope. You don't hope against hope. This government has not yielded to any promises it made at any point in time, either during election or after election. So the youths are tired. People are restive. You know, the generality of the citizenry are really fed up. So yes, it's a sad one. It's a really sad commentary that Imo State has to suffer for this insensitive decision of the governor of Imo State. And yes, the governor has come out to say, he set up panels of investigation. They've started suspecting and accusing Biafra of having a, you know, liberation army who is doing this and all that. But eyewitnesses saw the fact that this was Imo citizens. These were youths. These were freedom lovers. These were people who knew, where the rain beat them, so that they knew where, of course, the rain dried on their body. They remember what happened to their forefathers. They remember what happened to their grandmothers, great grandmothers. They remember the issues of 1966, when to the very unfortunate uh, 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 unfortunate experience of the Igbos. The Northerners clamped on them and did everything to completely annihilate and eradicate anything Igbo from the north, chased them down to the south, committed all sorts of, heinous wickedness, and then, I don't want to say complete annihilation, but they championed, almost what we might call a Holocaust on the Igbos. It's on record. It's on record. And so the governor was very, very insensitive to have taken such a decision. And I salute the courage of the youths. This is what we want. When they don't listen to you, when you make peaceful protest and they don't understand you, they don't want to hear you, they treat you like you don't exist, like you're just, if I mean somebody, you're just nothing important. This is what happens. This is what happens. Yes, because of course we remember the words of Martin Luther King, you know, late Martin Luther King of the Americas. He said, those who make peaceful change impossible ask for violent uh, change in return. So the youths have spoken and they should be listened to. I don't think this is the time to scapegoat anybody. I don't think this is the time to do window dressing. I don't think this is the time to want to, you know, uh, impress the powers at Abuja. I think this is the time to tell ourselves the truth. The governor should read the handwriting on the wall. The truth of the matter is the Igbo man has spoken. Yes. The youths have spoken. Yes. We are not interested in this kind of situations. We are not interested in this kind of deliveries. We are not interested in dancing so that we can be clapped for. We have grown. We have grown. And we have seen what has happened to us in the past. We don't want a continuation of that folly. It is a folly, yes. Folly to give palliative to those who don't want you. Folly to give your environment to nomadic Fulanis to come there and kill your people, destroy your farms, kidnap your people, ask for ransoms, burn down villages, rape, maim, and destroy. I mean, our governor cannot tell us otherwise. No, Imo State is in the news. And unfortunately, it's not for a good thing. The news is that the governor was trying to play the Godfather. He was trying to play Father Christmas. He was trying to impress, his godfathers at Abuja and in the north. He was trying to impress his Jagaban. And this has cost Imo State dearly, very dearly. Our citadel of learning, National Open University of Nigeria, Owerri branch, Owerri campus, has been engulfed in flames, avoidable flames. This action is very avoidable. So I want to encourage the governor. I think we should sit back, retrace our steps, and remember anytime we're taking any decision affecting Ndibo, affecting our people, we must make wider consideration, wider consultations. Imagine what will be spent, to repair, to rehabilitate and reconstruct that edifice, that uh, citadel of learning. It's going to cost us a lot of money, Imo State money, hard-earned resources. So why embark in such a futile journey in the first place? What was he thinking? What was the governor thinking? Did he think the youths are lazy, as a former president of this country said, that youths are a bunch of lazy people? Did he think the youths are ignorant? Did he think it will be business as usual? Did he think the youths are afraid? No. These 21st century youths in this country have come to realization that yes, there have been very many avoidable situations in this country that happened in the past. We will not allow them to happen again. This is the time to call a spade, not an agricultural instrument. The governor brings a policy or takes a decision that you don't like, we will tell the governor, yeah, sorry, we don't want this. When we tell him, he doesn't listen, and he wants to go on propaganda, he wants to go on, you know, hero worshipping and idol worshipping. He wants to go on, party mongering, and he wants to impress his political party. Then, of course, the youths will speak. And when they speak, it will come in all forms. They have spoken with fire. They have spoken with arson. Yes, they have said, no, we don't want Northerners in our land as IDP refugees. No way. You want to do that? Take them to the north. You want to do them? Take them outside the state. We have our own IDP. Most of us are employed. Most of us are not in school. Youths are not in school. Children are not in school because of the high cost of living, high cost of education. A lot of people don't have food to eat because of high cost of food. Food, staple foods, gari, fufu, cassava, indomie, rice, beans are no longer affordable. And you want to create an ID camp where you channel all the food, all the supplies, and Imo State had earned money that is not even enough for Imolites. You want to use it to impress IDP refugees from the north. Come on, Governor. With all due respect, that is totally unacceptable. You missed it, Governor. You missed it. You missed it this time. Seriously, you missed it. And you gave the youth no option other than, you know, to go the way they did. They have told you we are children of Biafra. They have told you your consideration should be conscience, especially about the welfare of the Igbo man, of the Biafran. Zero tolerance for any sort of distractions. Zero tolerance for any sort of misdemeanor. Zero tolerance for, you know, uh, not calling a spade a spade. Zero tolerance for corruption. Zero tolerance for making Imo people use their hard-earned resources for people who didn't deserve it. Just unfortunate. And this is supposed to be Nigeria's 64th independence anniversary. This otherwise, in other climes, other countries, when a celebration like this is going on, there will be fanfare. Youth will be on marching spree. Schools will be bring out children for marching and all that, and there will be general popping of champagne here and there. People will be happy. I mean, everybody will jump out in the street and dance to all kinds of music. But unfortunately, in this country, it is not like that. Unfortunately, in Imo State, it is not like that. I mean, people are wondering what has happened to Nigeria, what has happened to Imo State, what has happened to leadership, what has happened to these people who have, on their own, secured and wantonly taken over power. Because, of course, they have got powers in the judiciary, they have got powers in the center, they have got powers even among their political parties. It's a sad one, really. They have held the country by the jugular. They have taken Imo State, by the throat, trying to strangulate it by every form. It's unfortunate. It's a country that has two different types of currency for his 1,000 note, two different colors, two different designs. This same country has two different designs for his 500 naira note. Yeah, two different colors, two different designs. Even for its 200 naira note, two different colors, two different designs. Even in national anthem, two different national anthems for one country. I mean, I don't know. A country that thought it is more important to change its national anthem than to seek employment, than to make its refineries work. I mean, that is it. This is not what the youths want. And so the youths have spoken. They have used this venom, which they have, you know, totally activated in the site of the Imo State National Open University citadel to tell the governor enough is enough. Let's leave it there. I pray this will not happen again. This should not happen again. This should never happen again. The youth know that Igbo land belongs to Biafra, belongs to the Igbos. We should not ever forget that. Yes, the Igbo man's welfare, the Igbo man's well-being must be uppermost and must be above all other interests. I hope the governor has learned his lesson. Youths, well, you've done well. Let's keep it there. Calm down and let's stop any more such practices. You have sent your message. You don't need to cut your nose to spite your face. The message is clear, both to the region, both to the state and to the center. Keep on your good work, but please, let's be peaceful. Let's take it easy, and I pray we move forward until 2nd December 2024, when we hope and when we expect and when we are very much confident that the United States of Biafra will be fully and totally declared, inaugurated as a sovereign entity. God bless you all. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Biafra, Biafra. Yeah, Superstar Media. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. I wanna know. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra, Biafra. I wanna know. We going back to the land. We going back to the motherland. Biafra, Biafra. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the land. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra, Biafra. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the land.